Hi, Rita here. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well as I am, enjoying this beautiful sunny day. So today I want to talk to you about nail school. Yes, nail school. If you are planning to do this professionally, or you think down the road that you might want to do this professionally, then you are going to have to go to nail school. There's no way around it. Each state has their own amount of hours that they want you to attend, that you have to attend nail school for before you can get your license. Here in Ohio, it's 200 hours if you don't want the managing part, and it's an additional 100 hours for a total of 300 hours if you want to be a managing nail tech. And a managing nail tech is basically, it allows you to be in a nail shop by yourself without having a manager around. Otherwise, if you don't have that part to your license, you will only be able to work when there is a manager around. So the license that I had and the one I'm in the process of getting back, I was a managing nail technician, which makes sense because for me, because who's to say that when you want to work or can work that the manager is going to work the same time. So it may not be the same for your state, but that's how it is in Ohio. So I do have my notes here. I'll be looking down at them so I don't ramble and I can make the best use of this time that you're allowing me to have your attention. So there are a lot of girls on YouTube that are sharing their nail school experience, and I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and share mine. Because when you're trying to pursue a goal, something that you've never done before, it's good to have as many viewpoints and perspectives from different people that you can, so that you can have a total picture, at least a fuller picture of what to expect. You're not going to be able to prepare for everything, but for the things you can prepare for, it's good just to do a little research into, so that you won't be like the deer in headlights, like, oh, I wish I had known that, when all it would have took was just, asking a few people that have done what you're trying to do, or just looking on internet and just researching on your own. So being proactive is what we want to be as we pursue our nail tech goal, because nobody's giving us anything. As that's what I've seen trying to do this. You really do have to roll your sleeves up and get in there and get what you want. So that's what I'm doing this time around, and I'm sharing this with you so that you can go ahead and do the same thing. So let me see here. Without further ado, let me just tell you about my nail school experience. Okay, so I had been doing customer service and for many years with different companies. That was me. Thank you for calling AT&T. Thank you for calling Trustmark. Thank you for calling Cellular One. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. That was me, and I hated it. After a while, I just got so burnt out, and I did it for like 10 plus years. About 10 or 15 years, At first, I just fell into it because I needed a job to take care of me and my son, and the years just kept going, and it pays decent, so that's the trap that you're in. It keeps you in, but I was dying inside. I literally was just like dying inside. I used to sit in the parking lot, and just this feeling of dread would just wash over me, and I would call off from the parking lot. Toward the end, I would call off from the parking lot and say, I won't be able to make it today, and just turn around and go back home. So yeah, it was bad. So I started looking for something, and I'm an artist, I'm creative. That's what I've always liked, just artsy things, fashion, things like that. And so let me just go back. So I went to school, and I went to college, and I majored in art. Didn't have a clue what I was going to do with it, but it was just the most interesting thing for me to take at the time. Nothing else caught my eye that I wanted to actually spend 4 years learning or getting into. So I got my license, came back home. Ohio's not the greatest place where I'm at small little place. It's not the best place, Youngstown, Ohio, to try to pursue anything like in the arts, you know. So I got into customer service, and that's what I started doing. And it was just, like I said, just really despairing. So I was looking for a sign, and literally I found a sign. I was looking for a sign like, oh, I need something to spark my interest. And I was driving down the road, and I actually saw a sign saying nail tech special, $400. And I whipped around, went into the school, talked to the admissions counselor, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. So it made sense because I would always see girls that was wearing acrylic nails even though I didn't wear them, and I would say, oh, can I see your nails? And I would look at the designs and just be like, well, I could do that, you know, but I never did anything, try to pursue it until that day. So I was working customer service at the time, and you know, customer service jobs and with your job that you're working, once you're working for someone, your time is not your own. You know, very few jobs will give you that flexibility to pursue what you need to do, or things that you need to do. Like if you don't have sick days or vacation days, or you know, that they may have that for you, but to be able to say, you know what, I need to change my total schedule so that I can go ahead and find a new career to get the hell away from you and out this job. No, they're not gonna say, sure, let us help you do that. No. So needless to say, it fell through. Wasn't able to get my time flexible enough because the program was only part-time. So I just forgot about it and was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to just keep doing what I do, you know. And I just tried to make the best of it, and just remember that, you know what, I'm working to take care of me and my son, and you know, just kept praying like I gotta find something. So desperate for a change, I decided, you know, after a couple more years of misery, I said, let me try a different state. Maybe let me try New York. You know, it's the place for artists. You know, maybe I'll find something that I can do with my degree there, or just find a purpose, a direction. So I packed up me and my son, and we go to Albany, New York. I said, well, let me start out on the outskirts and gradually make my way down state to the city. That was my plan. But there was a problem. I hated New York. I hated it. The people were rude, standoffish, cold, wouldn't look you in the eye. They were just very unfriendly. And the cost of living, I was paying for a one-bedroom quite a bit. And they had taxes on food, and that was a shocker. That pissed me off. Like, among other stuff, I was like, really? It just, the whole place just totally was not vibing with me. And after the first snowfall, I had to shovel my car out to drive. Me and my boy shoveling the car, the snow from the car, to find the car. I said, nah, I'm packing it up and going home. So me and my boy packed up, came back home, had to start over, moved in with my mom and dad. And they were glad because, you know, they got to be with their grandson. And I was like, you know, I was glad to be home too for a while. I was like, okay, I'm home. I have to figure out something. I'm not going back into customer service. No, I have to find something. So I was between jobs, and then I remembered, hey, you know what? Let me look into doing nails again. Went and got enrolled. I was like, okay. They didn't have any financial aid, so I had to pay it out of my pocket. Luckily, I was getting some unemployment, and you know, I was able to make payments. And then my sister, she did help me, you know, finish paying up on it. And you know, I was excited. I was like, okay, great. 8 weeks to a new career. You know, then I'll be able to just leave customer service for good, do something with my degree, stop having my parents look at me like, girl, what are you going to do with your life? What is you going to do with your life? You know, and just, I was just really excited. So I you know, took to the classwork. You know, first let me go back a little bit. So there was 5 of us. You know, 5 nail girls. Be prepared for small classes. Small amount of people coming for nails. Most people at your college and poly school will be going for hair. Very small will be going for nails, unless it is just for nails. And so we were just nice bunch of girls. We were just sharing our stories on why we wanted to be nail techs and, you know, what we were going to do. One girl was a nurse. Something about that. Something about nurses wanting to be nail techs. I've noticed that. But anyway. And, you know, we got our book. We got our brush, our acrylic nail brush. And we got a manicure kit, a manicure set. Not a kit, which I was upset about. No nice kit. Just a manicure set that you can get from Walmart, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't like that, but I was still geeked. Now, our instructor. Let me just tell you about her. She was about early 30s. You know, nice enough. But I, you know, could quickly see that she had zero passion, zero spark for nails. Not at all. I think she was in a shop doing nails part-time and what have you, but she missed a lot of work. I didn't hardly see her, and when we did see her, it was like, oh, our instructor is here today. Yeah, right? She was going through a divorce, and we spent many days that she was there talking about that. Her personal life. Yeah. Like I said, you know, nice enough person, but this is not what I signed up for. So I'm like, okay, I'm just taking mental notes of things that I'm not liking about nail school, but still staying positive because, hey, what's the alternative? Going back to, thank you for calling? Thank you for calling? No. So anyway, our instructor just was not about nails, you know, she was very unmotivating. She was discouraging. She was like, yeah, it's very hard doing nails. It's going to be very, very hard doing nails. And we're just looking at each other like, it's just second guessing ourselves. Like, our teacher is telling us this. And she was telling us about this girl who had a full book all the time and she was making money, but she wasn't. But our nail instructor said she wasn't because it was so hard and all this kind of stuff. And she just didn't have any insight about any answer about any nail question we had. She just was not feeling nails. So I was thinking the girl at your shop is the one that should be teaching us how to do nails. But I never said that. So anyway, we got into the book work. And we got our workbook. And let me just show you. This is the book that you'll probably, can you see it? That you'll probably get. Milady Nail Technology. This is the newest version, 2015. This book is way better than the one that we had. And it has a lot of life skill things inside of it to help you not just with the technical aspects of being a nail tech or the theory behind being a nail tech, but it deals with the personal things that you have to get together in your life in order to be successful with the career. So I really like this book. It's like $70. You know, I got that from the library. Let me quit fronting. I ain't buy that. I probably will buy it. I will. I'm looking to buy it because it was 100, so now it's 68. So if I keep going, who knows? It might go down to 45. So, but yeah, if you have a library card and you are close to going to school, get the Milady Standard Technology, the 2015 edition. So we got the edition that we were working on in 2004. We got the notebook, and when you go to nail school, primarily you're going to start off learning just general stuff. For us, like history. Here are some of the subjects: history of nails, the origin of nails, care and all that. Then you get to the main portion: infection control, sanitation. That's the biggest thing. Nail disorders and diseases, skin structure. We learned a little bit about anatomy and physiology, but in nail product chemistry, the main things is sanitation, infection control, skin structure, nail diseases and disorders. Nail diseases and disorders. That will be drilled in your head. Yep. Those were the main subjects. And then for the nail care part, there was manicuring, pedicuring, acrylic liquid, sculptured nails, and how to apply nail tips and things like that, how to set your table up, sanitation of your tools. Again, these were the hands-on things that we learned. So those are the main subjects, and we had to complete our workbook pages for certain parts of the book, from the book. So we had to complete certain parts of it. So after so many weeks of book work, it was time to get to the learning of acrylics and gels. Learning acrylics and gels. So I'm going to stop here because I'm going to do a part 2 to this, because I know that I'm winding down to my video capacity, and so I'll do part 2. So see you in a bit.